Okay, what's going on everyone? Doc here, and today I want to share with you my resource for countering nodes. So this is the third time I've updated it, but as of today, this sheet now lists 103 different nodes from various content, Alliance War, Alliance Quest, any sort of event quest we've had for a while, and now recently all the way through Act 6 as well, and a couple variant nodes. So for each node, I've given the name so you can easily look it up. An explanation, either written by me or straight from the Kabam forums, kind of depending on which was easier to read. And then these three are all my recommendations. So you have a character type, which is just a basic understanding of what you need to counter that node. Some options. Some of these I'm a lot more thorough with than others, but for the most part, I tried to get quite a few characters for every single one. And then finally, the idea. So this is basically why all of these options are good, especially if the node requires a lot more explaining than some. Like, for example, Psychic Thorns. In the idea, I explained why all of these characters are really good options. So I'll talk about that node for a second. So Psychic Thorns was a request for someone that recently saw the first video that I made on this, back when this only had 40 nodes. So for Psychic Thorns, when the defender is struck with a physical attack, the attacker takes 30% of the defender's attack as direct damage. Striking the defender with a non-contact attack heals the attacker for half of the damage dealt, for those of you who don't know what Psychic Thorns is. So the character type you need to beat this is an energy or non-contact. So you only take the damage back if it's a physical contact attack. And characters kind of fall into these. So all characters either have contact or non-contact, physical, in energy. So I've provided a couple options here that have energy or non-contact attacks. So Human Torch, Sim Supreme, Quake, Namor, Omega Red, and Havoc. And then in the idea section, I explained why for all of them. Human Torch and Sim Supreme both have all energy attacks, so they won't take any damage ever. Quake doesn't need to hit, so no damage back. Obviously you can't use Quake though if it's someone like Agent Venom. Namor is going to reflect all the damage back that he would be taking at Sig 200. And Omega Red and Havoc both have a split between non-contact or energy medium attacks and contact light attacks. So you'll take a little bit of damage, but you also get to heal back some damage as well. And so I did that for all 103 nodes. And I split them into categories for kind of easy reading and what I think most people would need up at the top or all the way at the bottom. So first up at the top, most difficult nodes. So these are the nodes where if you don't run a specialty champion, you're pretty likely going to die. And I tried to cover as many specialty champions as I could, but obviously I'm missing some for quite a few of these nodes. But these kind of nodes that you need a specialty for, Biohazard, Psychic Thorns, Freeze and Burn, can't touch this. They're basic stuff where if you don't run a specialty champion, you're going to die over and over again. Second category is almost anyone can complete, but it's difficult without a specialty, and that specialty champion is going to make your life so much easier. Take, for example, Safeguard, which is the first one listed here. Opponents can only lose 1% of their max health, for those of you who don't know. And you can beat this with anyone. I can take in Cap World War II, and I can take down a Safeguard node. But if I'm doing max damage, it's going to take 100 hits, or possibly more, and it's going to take forever. But if I go in with someone with ability accuracy reduction, or damage over time, or possibly both, such as Gwenpool, Black Widow, Elektra, or Archangel, then I'm going to be reducing the defensive ability accuracy, which will allow me to hit for more than 1%, or using damage over time to ignore the damage cap as well. Third category, Playstyle Notes. So these are the ones where you really can use anyone. There might be a couple champions that are better than others, but these are all about playing differently than normal, such as Spite, Tranquility, Tenacity, where you can't rely on certain things, such as parrying. You need to use Dexterity a lot more, or you need to avoid using Dexterity. And that's pretty much what's in this category. For these, I did provide options, though, for a lot of them, such as Encroaching Stun. Quake and Archangel both have ability accuracy reduction, so they can stop the stun from happening. But you can beat it with anyone, because anyone just needs to time their specials during that window where you would be getting the stun. Tenacity, Havoc, If the opponent shrugs off his plasma buildup debuff, then they're going to be taking damage. And that's pretty much how it goes for this category. You see a lot of them just list all, or maybe a character and all. Fourth category here is the least fleshed out, but I still haven't included from previous things. I've added to it a little bit. So this is difficult node combinations, stuff that we've seen before or possibly still see in Act 4, in event quests, that kind of stuff. So there's a couple things that we've seen. For example, 636 Cap Infinity War boss I recently added. Spry, Gassed, and Can't Touch This is a pretty common one that we've seen. A couple, I think we might have seen event quests. We've seen it in Act 6 now, and I think we first saw it in variant. That brings me to the last couple categories. So this is Act 6 in variant. So this covers in the entirety of Act 6 and a couple nodes in variant that we've seen added there first. So there are nodes in Act 6 up in here, like Pull, Buffed Up, Distract, Gimme, or Divified are all in Act 6. But these nodes down here are the ones that are listed in the Kabam forums as being added with each act. So these are the ones that were kind of added. These are the ones I think they were first showed up in variants, and then these are the ones that are added in 6.1 first, 6.2, 6.3, and now 6.4. And for these, you can see the descriptions are a little bit longer, so I just pretty much straight took, I exactly took the Kabam forum description and put it right in here. And for these, same thing. If I had a character type, if it was necessary. If it's not, I just put it as blank, and I have all here. And it goes that way. You can see as it goes into 6.4, there is no all. But I have a couple bolded statements here, and it's back at the top as well. If it's a synergy, if you can use a synergy to make the countering the node a little bit easier. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the explanation that this sheet really needs. For the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. But now here's my request to you. Let me know any nodes that are not on here that you want to see. Any sort of any nodes, any options that I'm missing. Like I said, I was thorough with a lot. Some I wasn't so thorough with. So let me know if you have a counter that you personally used to go through a node. These are all stuff that I've used, that I've seen other people use, and that I've theorized are really good. Say, for example, in 6.4, I did a lot of testing against Stunning Reflection, because I realized that using a Incinerate or Poison Immune champion, or Poison Dealing champion, is a lot easier than using a Stun Immune one. But obviously I'm not perfect on all these, so let me know if you have anything that you want to add, anything that you want to see added. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I will see you later on this week with my Man Thing video. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.